It's fine. It's fine. It's reductress, so only one person clapped, which I get. You guys were right. This person was wrong. It's not better. It's not better to be in a relationship. It's the same. You know? I cried before sometimes. I cry now sometimes. Honestly, the only thing that has changed is the reason I'm crying. I at least knew why I was crying before. You know, I was crying because I was alone. Now it's a lot vaguer, more abstract. It's I'm crying because one of us raised our voices while we were talking about The Wire. And it was me, I did. That's not a good reason. There are some things that are better about being in a relationship. Seesaws. Much better with another person. That is night and day. And that's it.
You are somebody that we love the first time we were paired up with you in San
very
Francisco.
early in your career.
Yes.
I remember listening to we stayed and watched your set, and I was like, she's got some really good premises, really good jokes, and we're we'll see you in LA at some point. And then,
We were right.
boom.
Here we are.
Were we not right?
Was that
You were right.
Was
Yeah.
that a tough move to go from there, or was it? Did you lament the decision to come down? Because San Francisco's got a good scene.
San Francisco's great, and I was there for 3 years. But by the time I left, all my friends had left. And I actually went to New York first before I came to LA.
That's right.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
went- so why the decision to go there before here?
San Francisco, there's no industry there.
Right.
So you can just make all your mistakes. There's a high level of professionalism. No one's trying to get on TV, everyone's just trying to get work at the punchline. And the bar there is really high.
That's right.
You just basically have to tread water, and you're not gonna be great at it at first, but you'll figure it out by doing it.
I became an aunt recently. Thank you. Well, my sister did most of the work, but thank you. Definitely did some of it. She did it all. She did the whole. I really thought my parents loved me until they became grandparents, and it turns out they've been giving me about 50%. I know what their love looks like now. I'd never seen it before. I'm pretty sure that if I were on fire and my parents had a bucket of water, they would just dump it out, put the baby in the bucket, get out of there. Be we've got to get him out of here before Emily kills him. It's fine. It's just, this is the first grandkid, and I'm the youngest of 3. So I was still the youngest until this kid came along. Youngest and cutest by default. And that ended really abruptly. That's all I'm saying. 30 years. I hit 30 years.
Who's the tester outer for you? They're if I can make this person laugh, I know it's got to go. They went through the right channel.
Now it's my boyfriend a lot, although the jokes that make him laugh are so dumb that I feel like it's affecting my material.
It's steering you in a new direction.
Yeah. So that's harder. But usually other comedians are the best because it's not just what makes them laugh. That's a good test. It's they can tell whether something I'm saying is my voice or not. Would work on stage or not. But a lot of times Twitter is really helpful.
Right, you just tweet it out.
When you get a
Yeah.
bunch of responses to something, you're like, that struck a nerve.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely. People really feel like they know you, and they do. They know a lot about me if they listen to the podcast, and then when they see me perform, it's oh, I talked about that joke on the podcast even, and they get
That's
to hear
right. The
what that
process
is.
of how you came up with it.
Yeah.
Speaking of, what is your favorite joke that you're doing on stage now that's currently in your rotation?
There's one joke that I've been telling on stage about being in therapy, and I just start the joke by saying I think everyone should be in therapy, and people have interesting reactions, and then I say if you think you shouldn't be in therapy, tell your best friend that you're thinking about it, see how relieved they look. And I just like watching people's faces in the
Yes.
crowd as I
they-
tell that joke as they realize that they need to be in
They should
therapy.
be in therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are literally pushing people to therapy.
Yes, that is
with
like
that
my
joke.
main goal. Yeah.
I never want to see like a female Mr. Rogers. And I know that might sound weird. I'll explain. Or like at least if that were me, that would not be a kid's show anymore. Because I know what I do when I get home from work. And it would just be like, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? It's a neighborly day in the neighborhood. It's not a sex thing. It's just really uncomfortable at this one point. Okay, I'm not gonna just be up here without a bra, so I'm gonna put it back on. You can't really put it back on underneath. So I'm just gonna put it over. That way at least, you know, like, I won't be self-conscious. And you won't be distracted. Is it working? No? Okay, thank you guys very much.
Thank you so much for doing this. Always fun to see you do comedy and then
Shake
sit
your
down
hand.
and gab around with you. This is the way we do
Now
it.
you guys shake the other hand.
Nope, I
won't
will not touch him.
Will not touch.
Okay.
This is too much. You as the conductor, I don't even want to.
You are a conduit,
All
and I
right,
still
yeah.
don't like it.
I'm forcing you guys to shake hands and make up via
It's like we
this.
just signed like a peace treaty.
That's right.
This
We're
will
gonna,
not
We're
stop.
gonna build that bridge for the homeless.